We've all seen the interesting trailer for the Japan edition of Exchange 4, right? And since this video is centered around Ji-Hyun and her ex Wonkyu, and his messy new situationship with Jiyeon, it's only right that we break down the tea and talk about everything going on right now. We'll also dive deep into all the latest updates surrounding the now extra famous t-shirt incident, and how we ended up with the fight scene everyone's replaying. Let's start from the beginning. The entire season got completely flipped upside down because of one drunk man and one heart-shaped Anderson Bell t-shirt. I swear, the way this shirt became famous among netizens is wild. The resale price literally jumped from 69,000 won to the 100,000 won range overnight. Anderson Bell probably didn't even ask for this promo, but the show served it on a silver platter. So, episode 12 drops, and here is what actually went down. Remember Jiyeon asked drunk Wonkyu to give her a shirt of his, when she saw Yoon doing the same with Yushik. Keep in mind that Yoon only asked Yushik for that shirt because she loved the brand and it was a very expensive shirt, no strings attached. But with Jiyeon, things are different. These are two people who are developing romantic feelings for each other. So, of all the things this man could have given her, he hands her the exact t-shirt he wore when he asked his ex Ji-Hyun on a date. Like, how do you hand out that shirt of all shirts? That's basically already a mess. He literally told Ji-Hyun that the shirt would look good on her and offered it to her, ha ha ha. She didn't request for a specific shirt like Yoon did with Yushik. Instead, Wongq suggested what shirt to gift her, which makes the situation even worse. OML. Now, Jiyeon could have just kept it quiet, folded it or hide it. Use it as pajamas or something, but nope, my girl wore it loudly, like, in front of everyone, not caring that Wongq's ex might be in the house. She's been too careless since the show started. It almost feels like she thought Wongq's ex hadn't even entered the house yet, which is going to be a rude awakening for her later, ha ha ha. Anyways, she wore the shirt in public, flaunting it, knowing full well these exes are around each other 24/7. And of course, Ji-Hyun saw it. Things exploded instantly between Ji-Hyun and Wongq. She called him to find out how his shirt landed on Jiyeon's body. Honestly, the whole t-shirt situation with Ji-Hyun was wild, but when you really break it down, her reaction actually makes sense. When she first saw Jiyeon wearing that shirt in the kitchen, she literally tried to comfort herself with, okay, maybe they just coincidentally have matching shirts. You could tell she was trying so hard to stay calm and not jump to conclusions. Even tying Jiyeon's apron for her so-called matching t-shirt with her ex wouldn't get stained, laughing my ass off. Because the idea that Jiyeon might be wearing her ex's shirt felt too messy to even consider to her. Especially knowing that it was the exact same shirt Wongq wore when he asked her on a date 2 days earlier, and then the very next day he handed that same shirt to Jiyeon like some kind of souvenir. Like, OMG, Wongq acts like a player sometimes. But the real turning point was in the living room. The instant Jiyeon said, "This shirt is really precious to me, I don't want to stain it with food," you could actually see the realization hit Ji-Hyun. That was her oh moment. That's when she put 2 and 2 together and finally asked, "Isn't that Wongq's shirt?" And Jiyeon saying, "No, it's mine," was basically the universe gaslighting her in 4K. At that point, I don't blame Ji-Hyun for feeling blindsided. She wasn't just seeing a shirt, she was seeing all the mixed signals, the disrespect, the messiness, everything. So when she called her ex to confirm what happened with his shirt, he did what men like him do, he dodged, blamed the alcohol, and acted clueless. But Ji-Hyun issued an ultimatum saying, "You need to take the shirt back or you're not getting a date with me." People might call that petty, but honestly, I get it. It wasn't even about the shirt. That shirt became a symbol of Wongq's emotional chaos. It represented crossed lines, sloppy timing, and the fact that he was basically handing out intimate breadcrumbs to 2 different girls at the same time. Ji-Hyun drew a boundary. And yeah, the way she delivered it was sharp, but it was the only way she could regain control after being put in that position. Was it the most mature reaction? Maybe, and also, maybe not. Was it understandable? Yes, completely. And was it peak reality show iconic behavior? Absolutely yes. So right after, Wonkyu went to Jiyeon, saying he was too drunk to remember how he gave her the shirt. LOL, I almost fell off my chair in amazement and laughter. I remember him telling her in his message that the shirt looked good on her. He clearly wasn't drunk when he wrote that message, hahaha. I truly cannot stop laughing. Anyways, Jiyeon promised to wash and return it to him because she agreed that if she was his ex, she would be angry too, as Wonkyu implied his ex will be mad. But in her interview, Jiyeon cried because her feelings were hurt by Wonkyu's actions. And look, I get she was embarrassed, but also, if she had that thought that his ex would be upset, why was she wearing it everywhere like it was a brand collaboration? I'm sorry, but she did that to herself. And then Wonkyu went to Ji-Hyun to apologize again and told her that he has told Jiyeon to return the shirt. But then, the next day, feeling guilty for hurting Jiyeon, Wonkyu takes her shopping. Shopping? Like seriously? Mr. Wonkyu, you just begged your ex, asking her on a date, but now you're out here buying outfits for someone else because you feel bad? If you want my honest take, men like Wonkyu are incredibly hard to date. They don't know how to hold a boundary, they want everyone to like them, and they confuse guilt with affection. He tries to please two people at the same time, and ends up disappointing both. Which brings me to the episode 13 preview. Now in episode 13, we see Wonkyu and Ji-Hyun in a major argument. And the part that everyone keeps replaying. When he tried holding her hand and she jerked her arm away, then he called after her with her full name like a frustrated dad chasing his kid. That moment screamed pent-up frustration on both sides. Why do you guys think this happened? Easy. Because Ji-Hyun sees exactly what we're all seeing. Wonkyu wants her back, but he's still emotionally babysitting Jiyeon. Comforting her by taking her shopping, acting like her boyfriend while begging his ex Ji-Hyun for a date. That's not romantic, that's indecisive, which is okay, but utterly misleading, which is not okay. So yes, that fight was coming either we like it or not. Now let's talk about Ji-Hyun's connection with the new member. Before episode 12 ended, the new male catfish, Sung-young, came in and started developing interest in Ji-Hyun. They even ended up choosing each other for the Japan trip. But honestly, I don't ship them. Rumor has it he's here to reunite with his ex Hyunji, and Ji-Hyun deserves better than being someone's warm-up act. But still, if he is the good distraction she needs to get Wongq thinking straight, then I'm all for it. As for Ji-Hyun, listen. I said this in earlier videos, Ji-Hyun checked out of that ship the moment he gave her that snooze fest of a first date. The whole "I'm only going all out for you" thing sounded more like a self-imposed restriction than romance. It deflated her excitement instantly. She hasn't emotionally returned since. I hope Ji-Hyun can move on from Ji-Hyun and find someone else to show interest in. It could have been nice if he was interested in Min-kyung, but he clearly isn't, and he has finally friend-zoned his ex, Yoon-young, because he wants her to have a happy ending with whomever she chooses, which doesn't make sense to me because he still clearly loves Yoon-young. I know this because I understand this type of love through experience, and his actions also prove this. I did mention this in an earlier video. After watching episode 12, here's where I stand. Wonkyu is not stable enough to date anyone right now, his wishy-washy behavior is spiraling into chaos. Ji-Hyun still likes him, but she's exhausted and hurt. One more bad move from him and she'll shut the door permanently. She even found out he took Jiyeon shopping. Her reaction will be explosive, which obviously spiraled into their fight in Japan as seen in the trailers. Ji-Hyun likes Wonkyu even more because they obviously went to Japan together, and in the trailers, we saw her telling Wonkyu she wants to be the only girl in his heart, but I think she's made the situation more complicated for herself, because she unintentionally inserted herself too deeply into Wonkyu and his ex's dynamics. something she could have done more subtly, has now turned messy. Sung-young will end up drifting back toward his ex, Hyun. When that happens, I think Ji-Hyun will open up more to her ex Wonkyu. Jae-hyung is not even in Ji-Hyun's emotional orbit anymore, and no, I don't think she lost interest in Jae-hyung because he's a barista, or because she's looking for somebody that is more established than her. I genuinely believe that she lost interest in him after their first date, and I don't think when they had their first date they had known each other's occupation by then. So, yeah, that's what I think about that. Lastly, the t-shirt incident will absolutely be referenced again in my opinion. It's too iconic to let go of at this point, lol. What are your thoughts on this? Share them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you'll get notified as soon as I upload the next one. See you soon, bye.